Previously, Maple put every stat into defense and became so unkillable that the devs needed to nerf her. Soon her friend Sally also became broken at the game and soloed an entire clan in the second Battle Royale event, and Maple befriends a flying turtle who needs to lose some weight. We left off after Maple recruited her friends and a pair of twins in her guild to prepare for the upcoming team Battle Royale. Maple takes the twins to fight the Hydra boss that she mistook as a buffet in the start of the game. After easily destroying the Hydra with her own Walmart Hydra, the girls get teleported to the entrance and they decide to go back in again for a speed run, so Maple puts everyone in her ball of poison to roll through the cave to the boss room. The Hydra respawns and immediately gets bashed by the twins' fat-ass hammers, but Maple steals their kill again by beating the boss with a one-tap. After speedrunning, the twins gain the ability to wield two-handed weapons with only one hand, and his gifts them new shiny crystal hammers. Later in the day, Kanade went to be a nerdy virgin in a library, solving puzzles for magic cubes. Kasumi went out to shear sheep and came across Maple, who literally turned into a sheep and gained infinite wool hacks. She then gets the brilliant idea to use her poison on top of the wool to create a protective barrier, but then she realizes she's completely stuck in the poison wool and wishes she had a stepbro to help her out. And Koromu kidnaps Maple's turtle and ventures into a cave. Inside, he encounters a huge skeleton boss and copies Maple's move of one-shotting it with his shield. The loot chest drops and he finds an upgraded shield and armor set, then goes outside to show off his new Corona mask and fake abs to Maple's turtle. After Maple heads back to the lobby, she comes across a mother caring for her sick daughter. The mom runs up to Maple and gives her a quest to help find medicine located in a spring, so Maple kindly flies the mom on her turtle over a forest full of monsters to get there. They eventually find the medicine, and while they're flying back, the mom thanks Maple for protecting her against the forest monsters, even though she didn't do anything. Maple then remembers this woman is an NPC, and they were supposed to traverse through the dangerous forest for this quest, but they flew above it, so the mom's dialogue is weird. After they get back, the daughter takes the medicine, but it doesn't help at all. Seems like this shit is also made by Pfizer. The mom then begs the help of Maple again, and another quest pops up, asking her to travel to a faraway land to find a magical ring of healing. This reminds Maple of the regeneration ring she got after killing the bee on steroids way in the beginning, so she pulls it out, and the mom thanks her profusely for traveling so far to find it, even though Maple didn't do shit. After the mom put the ring on the daughter's finger, she suddenly goes full spastic and runs out the door screaming. The mom then gives Maple another quest to retrieve her daughter, and just as Maple tracks her down, ghosts come out of her body to attack them, so Maple puts up her shield and the ghost splits up into many. Maple now unleashes her Hydra, which literally scares the ghosts out of existence. Back in their home, the NPC bitch starts nagging again, and this time it's because her daughter won't awaken from unconsciousness. She gives Maple another quest telling her to go to an old church. In the ruins, she finds a special potion, and after she brings it back to crack it, an angel-looking bitch spawns on top of the daughter and uses her power to finally cure the girl of the 100th strain of COVID-19. Maple then gets rewarded with a skill called Loving Sacrifice, and she goes back home to Elias to make her a new set of armor. After it's done, she takes her team outside to show them her new Loving Sacrifice ability, which turns her into a blonde angel and also creates a golden barrier around everyone. Maple then allows some nearby monsters to try to attack them to show everyone that as long as you stay in her circle, you'll be untouchable, because Maple herself being immortal just isn't enough. Meanwhile, in the Holy Sword Guild, they plot to take down Maple's guild in the coming events, and Payne suggests someone should go spy on them for intel. Back in Maple's tree, she tells everyone the third event is about to start and the objective is to commit genocide on cows and collect bells. Is then gives the girls new woolly clothes with armor on the boob area for extra protection against perverts. But it seems like Kasumi doesn't mind just a little bit of attention. In the event, Maple flies on top of a mountain to kill a cow, but after she collects the bell, she slips down the entire mountain, and once she gets to the bottom, she realizes that all her devour uses are wasted on disintegrating rocks while tumbling down, so this means no more one-tapping players or bosses. Maple wanders around the dark forest and finds the church that she went in before to collect the special potion, but this time she goes deeper in the structure and comes across a boss who immediately starts throwing hands, but Maple simply blocks. The boss then reveals his BDSM fetish and summons a bunch of chains to tie her up, so Maple then uses her wool ability to make a barrier around herself. Then she pokes her head out to tell her turtle to blast Trend to become huge, then she tells him to summon tree roots to tie the boss up and shoot it with a death beam. After being severely damaged, the boss takes on a whole new form and its chest opens up to let a bunch of arms come out. Then the snake from its ass breathes fire and burns Maple's wool. While all this is going on, Sally is on the surface casually killing cows and wonders what Maple is up to. Turns out, Maple got eaten and is currently in the belly of the beast. So her only logical next move is to take revenge by eating the monster back, and she starts chewing its stomach from the inside. This causes it to scream in pain, and her turtle stares at it like, "You good bro?" And before long, the boss is completely chewed up, and she comes out with a bunch of new skills. Back on the surface, the Flame Guild is preparing to go full Adolf on the cows. A low-level goon lures them towards the guild, then he gets healed by a girl named Misery. The frontline soldiers redirect the cows into an area to be blown up by landmine traps set up by an emo guy named Marcus, and Me uses her firepower to turn the rest of them into steak. After the event finished, Maple gets roasted by her whole squad because she barely killed any cows. Then, they go to find the tree boss they have to beat to unlock the 3rd level of the game, and the squad make Maple fight it, so she goes, "Alright bet," and uses one of her new abilities to summon a predator. The tree tries to grab it but quickly gets all of its fingers bitten off. Then the predator turns into a tentacle and hands the tree an old school ass whooping. As everyone is surprised by Maple's new ability, she pulls another one out her ass and turns her shield into a ball that expands in size. Maple then claws herself out of the ball in the literal form of the predator and boots the tree down. She gets on top of it for a quick meal, then slaps it like Will Smith and rips it apart in the cowgirl position, turning it into XP. After everyone's mind is done being blown, they enter the 3rd level to find an entire machine world. Everyone splits up to explore different parts of this new map, and Maple stumbles into another boss room with a robot. She gets her shield ready just in time for the robot's attack, which is surprisingly powerful and knocks her back. The robot then glows red and fires a cog into her chest, then changes form and starts blasting again. Maple then realizes the cog in her chest gives her a new ability, so she tries it out and starts growing all sorts of mechanical weapons all over her body like a scene out of Transformers, and in the end she turns into a machine god. The robot boss then gets super jealous, so he destroys the floor and shoots Maple as he's free falling, but Maple shoots back with her big ass guns, and this creates a huge beam clash. Eventually Maple's blast overpowers the robot and splits him in pieces. After another easy W, she starts getting worried the admins might ban her for being too overpowered. Back on the 2nd level, before the 4th event starts, Dreg talks about preparing to fight Maple Tree, and Payne says he already sent Frederica to go spy on what crazy shit Maple might be up to, but turns out, she's just chillin' on the beach with her friends. After the girls get out of the water, Sally catches someone hiding behind the rocks and tells them to show their ass. Frederica reluctantly reveals herself and comes down to try riz up Maple, but Sally has none of it and challenges her to a duel, where the loser has to give up some guild information. The blonde is down to bang, so they teleport to the battle arena, where she immediately starts blasting fire at Sally, who easily dodges. Sally then uses super speed to charge directly at Frederica, who puts up barriers, forcing Sally to cut through all of them, and right as she's done, she gets pushed back again with another barrage of fire. Frederica then shoots a bunch of rocks from the ground, and after Sally quickly cuts it all up, the blonde forfeits the duel like a bitch and reveals some information about the Flame Guild instead of her own, then gets the fuck out of there. Back in Maple's Tree, the Walmart Charizard gives everyone a rundown on the 4th event, telling them the objective is to steal orbs from the other guild's bases while protecting your own orbs from being stolen at the same time. After understanding the rules, Sally decides that Maple, the twins and Kanade should stay back to defend, while the rest of them go out to steal orbs. After a quick huddle, the 4th event starts and they get transported to their base with their orb they need to protect. The attack crew wastes no time in stepping outside to send some clowns in Viking helmets to Jehovah, but they let a guy run all the way back to his base so they can follow him there. After everyone in their base gets put on a shirt, Sally collects their orb and gives it to Kasumi, then heads out on her own because she's addicted to adrenaline. She enters a field to distract some goons while she quickly sneaks behind them to collect their orb. Then she cleverly leads their entire guild to a whole different guild so they can fight each other, and while they're all distracted, she snatches another orb. As she escapes through the trees, the Holy Sword Guild is under attack from a small army, so Dreg Hulk smashes his hammer into the ground to spike everyone, then Frederica rains fire like Thanos, and just like that, they easily took care of business. Back in the forest, Sally encounters Dredd and they square up for a 1v1, but for some reason Dredd immediately bitches out and runs away, so Sally chases him with super speed across the map and almost slices him. After they ended up in a valley, Dredd uses an ability called Godspeed and runs around Sally so fast she couldn't even see him. So she closes her eyes and activates Ultra Instinct to parry Dredd's attack, and this must have scared him shitless because he fucked off for real this time. Not too far away, the Flame Guild is also under attack attack, so Mi uses fireballs to defend. Her soldier then hands her a potion, and right after she takes it, she sees him drop dead and Sally zips away with their orb. Mi starts chasing Sally with flames under her feet, then Sally uses invisibility, which prompts me to blindly spam fire, burning down the forest, making Greta Thunberg upset. Back at base, the Viking clowns from before go in for revenge and try to burn them, but it does nothing because Maple used her angel protection ability. The twins then start knocking everyone out with hard balls, and as the rest of them turn to run, Kanade uses his magic to paralyze them. The last goon then tries to stab Maple, but he fails and gets smushed into guacamole. Subscribe and watch the next video to see if Maple finally gets her ass destroyed by the #1 player in the finale.